Morning, good afternoon, good evening, good day. It's your boy Max, and we're here with another episode. This morning, like I said, this morning, because I'm recording this in the morning, I, first and foremost, and it seems like I'm a broken record because I see this thing over and over and over again, and it's not working out. But I'll be honest with you guys, I'll be truthful to you guys. It's not necessarily like I don't want to record or I don't care about you guys anymore because I've seen the messages. I've seen, oh, Max, why don't you do podcasts anymore? Oh, we love your content. Keep pushing. It's just because, sincerely, there's not enough time. I'm in final year right now, and I can tell you that this is not what I anticipated as my time was. And in a bit, I'm going to get through. So I'm going to do like life lessons I've learned in final year thus far now, because I just finished the semester, and then I'm going to do another one later, after I finish with the whole session. But I'll do that one more like life lessons I've learned from CU, because I'll be done with CU by the special grace and mercy of God. Glory be to God. But what I've learned so far from the semester, let's get into it. So like I said, first and foremost, I want to apologize for like the whole absence. I know a lot of you may now have felt the absence considering you've been listening to my last episodes, but a good number of you at the same time will also be wishing you guys have heard from me more. And for me, all I can do is apologize sincerely. And like I said, by the time I get into the real episode, like the main episode, you guys begin to understand why. Because I can't lie, this final year has been a lot. With my river, and there's been a lot, and I know a lot of people that are hearing this would be like, oh, but Max, when I asked you, you said it was cool. Don't get me wrong. For the people who are close to me, they understand that I've been not going through a lot, but been experiencing a lot. There's a difference. I've been experiencing a lot. I'm not going through a lot. You get, Holy Spirit has really been good to me as a person. So yeah, there's that. But I've been experiencing a lot. And sometimes experiencing a lot isn't necessarily such a good thing. I can't even lie. In this case, it's half and half. It's good, it's bad, it's ugly. But I'll narrate how the semester has been thus far. I don't even know if I've done an episode on this before, but I guess I'll just do it again. So, but for podcasting, why have I not been so consistent? Simply just because, sincerely, it's just been a lot. Like, even these, when I say, okay, then we will pick up my tab and there's, do something, I'm always just like, what do I want to talk about? What do I want to say that guys I've not heard before? Or what do I want to do? Where do I become original? And you guys know me, I'm not going to find one Instagram trend and then come and talk to you guys about, there's no point. Like, I'm going to talk to you about things that are actually matter from now henceforth. Obviously, there'll be vibes and just, and from time to time, we will have guests, but for now, just bear with me. You get, number one thing I learned is, be fine. Let me give some context to that. You'll be fine. She may not approve of this, and for me, that's fine. But you guys have heard me talk about Mesomer so much on this podcast, but it would be interesting for you guys to know that we are no longer close friends. Shocker. Now, like I said, she may not approve of this. She may listen to this and just be like, or she may not. Who knows? She may have just been listening to this podcast because she was my guy. And now that she isn't, she doesn't give a shit. And on the other way, she could be listening to this and be like, wow, what's this guy doing? Sincerely, it's not necessarily I'm trying to out anybody. I never come on this podcast to just come and insult anybody or anything. I just telling my side of the story. Do you get what I'm saying? And so we're no more close friends. Emphasis on the close friends. I did not say we're no more friends. I just said we're no more close friends. And as usual, I will take responsibility for what I did. All right. I'm not necessarily going to say, oh, it was all my fault, but I'm not also going to say I didn't play a major role as to what it was. Now, this is a friendship, so there's nothing like I cheated. Let's calm down, because I know a lot of you are already reasoning, one kind. I did not cheat on anybody. I did not hit her in any way. I did not do anything physical. But let's just say for a very long time, our relationship as like friendship had been strained. All right. I can't go into details, obviously. It had been strained because of an incident. And let's just say that she hadn't forgiven me yet. She doesn't know that she hasn't forgiven me yet. And that's what I would like to touch on. Just because you're no more angry about a particular thing doesn't necessarily mean you're forgiving somebody. I feel like people mistake letting go for forgiveness. As much as they sound alike, I can let like what you did good to me. It doesn't necessarily mean I'm forgiving you. It just means I'm no more angry about what you did to me. Period. Simple. Wow, I got girls too much on my same periods. It just necessarily means that I've let it go. And I think I understood the difference after the OP. Well, messy, we talked about it. And after the whole thing, I mean, I'll give her flowers in the sense that it wasn't necessarily like she didn't, I don't want to say she didn't try, but at the same time, I'm like, okay, let me put it to you this way. We talked about it, we tried to salvage the whole thing, but then I just looked at it and I'm like, I'm actually just fighting this as a lone batsman. Like, every time I see Miss Omar trying to fight for the friendship, she's doing it because I said so. Like, oh wow, shouldn't you be, like, she's not doing it because she wants to. And I realized that why stay in it? I mean, I come on this podcast a lot of the time and say, if your friend doesn't want to be your friend, then just stay. And then I am now coming outside and fighting for a friendship that somebody doesn't want to be in. In making I heard myself, I just stopped. I just said, you know what? Do you? Like, you feel like we should just be distant friends. I feel like that's fine. Do I want that? Hell no. Like, I still very much care, even up to now, I still very much care about that. But I'm not going to fight for a sinking ship. Simple. If you want to be distant friends, then I will respect your decision and I agree with what you want sincerely. So that's what I did. And I would like, when I first did it, that first week, I was on a lot of pain. Maybe it's because my relationship lasted like a very short period of time. But I can tell you that this one hurts me way more than my relationship. But I've recovered faster than I did in my relationship. The friendship breakup and then the relationship breakup. For me, I prefer relationship. Friendship breakup is just because, okay, you break up with your babe, you still have your guys to turn to, this and that. You break up with your best friend. The human being that you would usually turn to these things is not the person anymore. You get, it's devastating. But in general, I just didn't do anything. So fast that one. Let's move on. Throughout the semester, I thought that, this semester is going to be tough, it's going to be difficult, it's going to be a lot, considering the fact that I'm no more my best friend and this and this. But apparently, to be honest, maybe because of the amount of work I've been taking on this period of time, but I haven't really thought about it too much. And sincerely, even when I think about it too much, I have not necessarily, and then obviously probably the Holy Spirit, I've not necessarily been in pain. Like, I see her, I don't talk to her. I'll be very honest with you. If you guys are like, okay, I see her, I talk to her. I sincerely, I don't text, I don't talk, except it's out of necessity. That means, okay, this thing has to be done, and this is just business, or this is just professional. It's not as if, oh, I'm doing this because I need to know. It has to be professional. Aside that, I don't talk to myself about anything. This is not, oh, hey, hi. I don't even say hey, hi, because I make sure, but I've not been in her vicinity anytime. Because let's be honest, even when we're best friends, it's not like we're doing things together. And that's why I said that for a long period of time, the relationship had been strained. All right, so there's that. This one is about a year and a half to decide. So all these ones that I was talking about on IT, trust me, it was being strained, but we're just managing. So that's that. I feel like that's number one that happened to me this semester. Two, I don't know if it's because of IT, but I'll say, but I don't look at things the same way I was before IT. Now, for the people who have listened to the podcast, and I implore you to go back and listen to some episodes, because I looked at it and I realized a progression in thinking. I entered IT as a child, I can't even lie, because I realized that CU didn't change, I just did. I entered IT as a child. I had no knowledge in tech. I had life knowledge, but not nearly as, or not even remotely close to what I know now, because of experience and the kind of teachers I had during IT. When I say teachers, the Word of God. I think I studied a lot. When I say I studied a lot, not necessarily like I carried my Bible and I was reading, but different sources, messages here and there and this and that. And I did carry my Bible from that time, give me insight into a lot of things. And then my uncle that just decided to be giving me lectures every morning on life. As much as annoying that was in the time, I'm seeing the fruits of it now. You get. And so now I have a different perspective of things. One, I think is a bad thing because number one, everybody looks like a child to me at this point. Sincerely. And it's not helped by the fact that I'm in final year and I'm like, do you get? I'm like, quote unquote, the last stage in school. So everybody looks like a child to me. Like, let me give you an example. And this is purely an example. I went for a service unit meeting. And when I was there, I'm not going to say which of my service units, because if I say that, some people will get offended, sincerely. And I went for a service unit meeting. But people that know me know what I'm talking about. And I found it very hard to relate to anything there, because I just felt like everything here felt like a 6-year-old's birthday party. And it's not necessarily like what they were doing was wrong or childish. I just feel like my mind and my thought process and how I am has grown to a certain level that I can't be doing some things anymore. I can't even enjoy some things anymore. Like, yes, I can enjoy banter, but this jumping up and down, too much excitedness, too much thing, it works for some people. I can't lie. I'm not going to say here and say it's bad. I did not say it is bad. Don't quote me and say, oh, you're showing too much excited that this thing is bad. I'm just saying, for me, I can't. I don't know. If you can relate to me, you can. If you can't, that's cool. It's my opinion, and I'm saying my story, so that you don't come out and start saying, oh, Mark said, oh, that all the services that are doing the most, like CTG, like Cospi, like maybe Communion, you now come and say, oh, he says it's a bad thing. I did not say it's a bad thing. I did not say they are childish. Don't get me wrong. I said, to me, I can't see myself doing those things. Do you get what I'm saying? So I found it hard to read it. Another reason why I find it hard to read, to integrate myself back into my service unit. Not necessarily because they offended me or anything, but because, one, a lot of them don't reason the way I do. And I find it hard to talk to people who don't reason the way I do. Because it always seems like, number one, I am filtering things for you. Two, I'm trying to explain too many things to you. All right. And I don't like it when I'm mansplaining, because it makes me feel like I'm smarter than you, which in actual retrospect, a lot of the time I'm not. Do you get? But you've not just matured to the level of coming to reason on par with me. Simple. That doesn't necessarily mean I'm smarter than you. You get? I'll be honest. There are people in my service units that are in 200, 300. They have jobs, high-paying jobs. All right? They have things that they are doing. Doesn't necessarily... Do you get? Those guys will probably be better than me in a lot of things. But the maturity level of thinking is what I'm talking about. Now, that aside, what else did I learn this semester? Enjoy the fun moments. Now, this semester I had the opportunity to engage a lot with like 100 level, which if you guys were listening to this podcast, I did say I was not going to. That's another thing. I said I was not going to engage with 100 level so much because I felt like, what do I have to talk about them? But to be honest, they've been really cool. 100 level, 200 level, 300 level-ish. And I can say it's been fun. Like, it's really been fun. I wasn't close to a few of them. Both for all of you weary people that are out there thinking that Mark's not find baby 100 level, go for big party. No. Just a few here and there, just talk, vibes, and step. Do you get what I'm saying? I'm not engaged in anything romantic with anybody. I will also get to the romantic side, because I know that what you guys are waiting for is actually going to be the last thing I'll talk about. So more or less it happens like that. And I think one thing I learned from them is to remember to be eager about a lot of things. I think over time, as people, we tend to, or when we grow, we tend to lose, let's say, this excitedness of new things. Do you get, like, you know when something is new, you wake up, you are so excited about it. And that's the 100 level students are, a lot of them. They got to see you, even though they don't know much about the sport. And that's fine. They are so excited about so many things. And I find it very fascinating. The last time I was excited about anything like that is like, what, 100 level mega. You get, I think once I entered 200 level, see you entered me. And that excitedness died. All right. And then there's that. So I think I'm really happy. I'm not going to mention their names because I know that if they listen to this thing and they hear it, they will just come out bad. But I'm not going to mention their names. They were really cool. That's what I'll just tell them. So the people that know themselves, they're really, really cool. I think I've had to take a lot more responsibility this semester than I thought I need. And it has worked out well. Let's not even talk about the spirituality on its own. Like, it has been really, really strong. Maybe not so much this exam because I don't know. But sincerely, I felt God's presence. That's been really powering. And that's one thing I like to tell people. Because I feel like people feel like the moment you're in a service unity, you're spiritual. I'll be very fast to you. It doesn't work that way. As of right now, if you really wanted to say it, I'm not in any service units. I haven't served in like a month. I don't think during the month of February, I served once. I've barely attended any meetings. I've barely done anything service units related. And I can tell you for a fact that this is the most consistent before exam chat. This is the most consistent. This is the most, what I say, this is the best part of my spirituality so far since I've been alive. And I think it's more personal than general, because I feel like in the service unit, and this is my opinion, I keep saying this, you kind of get lost in the crowd a lot of times. In the service unit, you go out, you pray, you do this, and then you feel like that's enough. To all the spiritual babies out there, I'll say this to you: get a personal life before you get a family life. This is my opinion. A lot of people feel like it's the other way around, and some people may argue, but I'm just like, get a personal life. Because the truth is, your family may be able to pray for you and everything, but there are some things that you can't uproot without like you. All this one of pray for me, pray for this, pray for that, it's cool. But what can you do? The devil has tried to really scatter some things in my life, and I can tell you that it is the 30 minutes, 45 minutes water of scattering that I do in my room, water of prayer kind of scattering that I do in my room, that has really worked for me than any 1 hour, 2 hour, 2.5 hours chaplaincy prayer or communion unit meeting or attendance unit meeting prayer that I've done. So saying the one I do my own. Because number one, I feel like you are more free when you're on your own than when you're with people. So you're more honest. Because now, when you're with people, like it or not, you feel like you're not self-conscious, and some people aren't. But you can't tell me that you're not free. You're not as free when you're on your own. When you're just you and God. Because the truth is, in the congregation of people, there's still self-awareness. It's the same way you will not just, how I put it, you will not just be moving anyhow. It says that you'll be aware of, okay, a chair is here, this is here, I'm sitting down. You're still self-aware. You won't just walk into a wall. But when you are praying on your own, you could forget where you are and just be going. You get my point? But that was like a whole realm of wahala, and not going to say wahala, but stories on its own. For me, I just feel like have a personal life first, because that's service anything as much as it's beneficial. And I'm not trying to shoot down the importance of a service unit, but being very, very careful. A lot of people just take service unit as that's my spiritual life. If your service unit life is your spiritual life, you don't have a spiritual life, sincerely. Because a service unit life a lot of the time, and I'll be very honest with you guys here, is not genuine. It's the truth. It's not. This is coming from somebody that lives that kind of life. In 300 level, I basically ate, slept, drank, prayed, watched movies. Service unit was my second room. In fact, I can say my first room, because I was in service unit more than my actual room. And I can tell you, I didn't have a spiritual life, because if this is what I have right now is a spiritual life, then I didn't have a spiritual life back then. All I had was just a life that had God a little bit. And I think that that's what a lot of people have, that they think they have a spiritual life. I'm not in any position trying to judge or condemn or say that I'm better than anybody, because I feel like spirituality is not first position, second position. It is not this guy is higher than me or higher than that. It's just you and God. Simple. You get the concept of comparing yourself to somebody else is foolish, because two of you are not at the same level, not dealing with the same things, not even remotely in the same at all. And I'll give you a perfect example of the difference between me now and me then. A year ago, I was struggling between secular music, or let's say worldly music, and Christian music. When I say struggling, as in sometimes I'll be switching from time to time. Let's say I'm not going to be listening gospel. I'm not going to be listening to any worldly music anymore. Do you know that yesterday a guy was listening to some worldly music? I'm not going to say who. I'm not going to say what the songs were. It was listening to some worldly music, and something in me was like, "This is just terrible." I started preaching to the guy. This is me that a year ago I was doing the same thing. That's to show that, to be honest, it's not even self-righteousness. It's not even as if I feel like I'm better than the guy. Like, it's not even that. But something in me was like, no. And I had to ask the guy. I was like, okay, why are you listening to this? Because I used to tell people, as much as I am spiritual, all right, there's still a big part of me, and I'm trying to suppress it, that is very much logical. And I used to throw this question to people: why do you listen to worldly music? Give me one valid reason. Everybody keeps telling me the same thing. Why I like it. It's really cool. The Bible says all things are lawful, but not all things are expedient. I did not say it's bad. But let's put it in context. I did not say it's bad. So why are you listening to it? Why I like it. You find out that you find it very hard to give a valid reason. When I say valid reason, other than your feeling, you find it very, very hard. Or the lyrics make sense. It's cool. You understand that all that is still feeling. And people ask me, okay, so why do you listen to gospel music? Number one, it edifies. Number two, it brings a certain level of calmness that you cannot comprehend, because music is a spirit, and when it has the Spirit of God inside it, there's just a different level that you cannot understand. Even me, I don't understand it, but I just feel it. Alright, that you say, oh, but Maxwell, you just said feeling, but this is the Spirit of God. Well, let's do it. And number three, there are miracles from those songs. And number four, there are lessons to be learned from those songs. You get my point? So let's move on. Now, finally, relationship life. I'll be very honest with you guys. I haven't had time for that. I know that's a letdown. You guys were expecting one kind of. Matt had 2 babes. He was running 2 babes. No. I didn't have time for that. I've had a lot of friends that are female. In fact, I can say that the only set of people I've met friends with this year are females. Do you understand? And in no way am I looking for, oh, this babe, I may be very nice to you. Doesn't necessarily mean I like you, sincerely, because I'm more or less nice to everybody. Social. What happened? Nothing. Didn't enter anybody's DM, because I don't do that anymore. Nobody texted me, because I don't do that anymore. I mean, what's nothing. Like, yes, I did meet people, but it was only because, I think there's only one person that I walked up to. Like, there was nothing joining to us. I just walked up to her and I started talking to her. She's 100 level. And it was just because, she seemed like a very cool person. And I just felt like simple. And that's the first time in my life I'm ever doing it. When I do it again, probably not. But then, I didn't even know she was 100 level. I just felt like, wow. I thought she was like a 300, 200, because she actually looks mature. Do you get? So, well, apparently she's 100 level. I was like, oh, that's really cool. I will be talking since I'll be really cool. That's all. Do you get? So, yeah. That was basically what happened during my whole semester. Really, romantically, nothing. And the irony is, I think the Holy Spirit had been leading me towards preparing to be married. Irony, but yeah, preparing to be married. When I say preparing, not you are getting married soon. Preparing to be married. Like, start learning stuff. Start putting yourself in the right headspace. Because up until now, I was just in the headspace of relationship. I was not in the headspace of marriage. And a lot of people say the same thing. Yes, you can date to marry, but there's a different headspace in relationship and a different headspace in marriage. Do you get? Because you say, yes, I'm dating to marry. No, I don't know. Because if you go into a relationship with the I want to marry from the onset, there are a lot of things you overlook. Let me explain. Let me put this. You can have the intention of entering any relationship, because I'm thinking of it long term. But at the same time, in my opinion, still enter I am entering a relationship. You know why? Because when you're thinking, okay, I want to marry, marriage is a long-term something. Marriage is also a case where you think it's going to work out and everything is going to be. And I'm talking from the purely mundane perspective, not like the spiritual perspective. If you enter that kind of relationship like that, there are some things you ignore because you want to do compromise. And I'm telling you, in a relationship, there's a certain level of compromise you should have that is not supposed to be that high. If you go into a relationship with a marriage level compromise, I promise you, wahala starts. Because when person is your wife, all right, there's a level of, okay, she's my wife, so let's allow her to do this, or not. Sorry, that's wrong. Or let me not do this. Let me not do this. Let me accommodate, because you are meant to be accommodating. Now, somebody that is in a relationship is not supposed to be. Because I feel like people don't understand what relationship is. Relationship is the period for you to understand the person, to know if this is somebody that you can be with for life. It is not the time to be plotting and managing how you manage a human being for life. Do you get? I am not meant to be manipulating myself to adjust to how to fit to you. Or do you, I don't know how to put it, but you guys that you understand. Well, I hope you get what I'm trying to say. Like, marriage is where, okay, we begin to accommodate. Not we begin, but we accommodate ourselves more. We understand some, because we found out the foundation is love, one, trust, honesty, blah, 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 blah. But in a relationship, those are the foundations. You now get there, you now realize that, okay, this person is not for me. Because you said, oh, I'm here to marry. You find out that it's very difficult for you to break up that relationship, because you feel like, oh, that's where you start hearing things like, oh, some things don't always work out at first, just give it time. Those are some people who are in a relationship for 3, 4, 5 years, and they don't marry, and they're unhappy. Because you enter that relationship sometimes with the mind of, oh, marriage. You enter that with the mind of, oh, you want to marry at a lapse. You've been given the patience you want to give a relationship. You're giving it marriage patience. And believe me, they are very two different things. But then let's not get into that. And then at the same time, I could be wrong. I've been talking for 27 minutes and about 6 of it has been for a relationship. I could be very wrong. I accept that. And as usual, if you guys have a different perspective, please let me know. Like, text, answer the poll. So yeah, this is my episode. I promise you guys I will never do an episode that is longer than 30 minutes anymore. So I think I'll stop here. If you guys have any questions, let me know. If you guys have any insights, let me know. If you guys have any oppositions to what I'm saying, please let me know. I think Mark's talk page is always free. He's always ready to talk. And watch out, I'm actually going to be texting my fan. Because all of you are my fans. Like, don't. Even you that listen to this thing to be saying this guy's talking trash. Yeah, shall listening. And I'll be texting all of you guys to just check what you guys see how you're doing. Because I feel like everybody needs to be checked up on. Yeah. You can check up on me at any given time. I used to say this thing, I'm one of the most available, if not the most available people in CU. There is nothing I'm doing, no matter how busy I am, that I will not respond to you within 2 hours except I'm sleeping. It's not possible. I'm awake. There's no Wi-Fi issue. Within 2 hours, you get the response. No matter who you are, even if I don't like you. If I don't like you, I'll see your message, but it will be, but within 2 hours, you get the response. If I like you, okay, 5 minutes, you get the response. Simple. Listen, I don't do all this rubbish that people will say, oh, he would think, because I don't like anybody, so it's not there. He would think I'm desperate. I won't consider your papa, or I don't know which it's. And so today, that's all I had to say. I try as much as to be more consistent with what I am. This thing. And as for all of you that already want to bombard your mess with my questions, I can't give you what you want to, because I can't give you the story. But I would just like to say that she's cool. I'm cool. Let's just leave it like that. I beg. No complicated things past what it's supposed to be. You guys should have fun, enjoy yourself, and I'll see you guys in the next few episodes. Bye.